What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Jared. Now, I battle my opponent off my Discord server, so if you guys are interested in a Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle and trade Discord server, feel free to check out my Discord server. A link will be in the description below. Now, me and my opponent are having a rarely used battle today because RU is a fun tier, and I'm sure you guys are getting sick of OU, though if you guys are like only watching my channel, you guys are probably getting sick of RU, but RU is fun because, you know, there's a lot of variety in the tier, so I like it a lot. And my opponent has a pretty threatening Sun team, though he has like Charizard on there, so I'm curious what that thing's gonna do to me. As I'm using a pretty fun team, I'm using some Pokemon some people suggested like Guzzlord and Salazzle, as I'm using Gorbis, my Rocks for Daily, Scarf Gardevoir, and Choice Banded Sock, so pretty powerful threats on my end actually. As I'm expecting my opponent to want to lead off with the Torkoal because, you know, he has a Sun team, so I figure that getting up Sun would be a pretty high priority on his list. But my opponent decides to lead off with the Swellow. It leads me to believe that's probably Specs Swellow, but I really have no idea, because I've yet to see a Gut Swellow in Gen 7, and I've only seen Specs Swellow, and the only person that's used Gut Swellow so far is me. I'm the only person that I've seen use Gut Swellow at this point, so I'm just expecting Spec Swellow until someone surprises me with Guts, and I'll be like, well, you know what, I'll consider it, but until then, it's only Spec Swellow. There's Spec Swellow only. But here my opponent is going to bring in the Torkoal. I decide that my opponent just does not deserve to have fun in this battle, and I lay up my Stealth Rocks because Stealth Rocks unfortunately demolished half of his team, because my opponent decided to make a team my route and make it half weak to Stealth Rocks, but he does have a way to remove Stealth Rocks, being the Torkoal itself, so me getting up the Stealth Rocks aren't too big of a deal because I do not have a spin blocker, because I'm not that much of a dick, so I mean, at least he can just rapid spin away from my rocks, but I'm pressuring him to be forced to rapid spin once, and that was the main reason why I set him up, because I can easily pressure him with a double switch on the rapid spin and go from there. So here I'm going to decide to do just that and switch into my Gorbis. Even with the Sun up, I know my opponent's going to be threatened out by this Gorbis because I can easily set up a Shell Smash on this thing. And unless it carries Solar Beam, which it probably doesn't because he has two grass types, he'll be in a pretty bad position. So here, my opponent's going to be forced out, obviously, and he's going to bring in his Victory Bell. But my Gorbis set is Rain Dance. Now, the reason why I'm running Rain Dance is that Shell Smash, because Rain Dance does not lower your defenses, and it actually increases your fire type resistance, and it makes you, twice as fast, and it makes your water type attacks hurt and hit like a truck. And I used it back in Gen 4 NU, so it has like a novelty spot in my heart. Gen 4 NU being like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum back in those days. Pretty fun set, as I decided to bring it back in Sun and Moon. Pretty much the exact same set, if not the exact same set. I just re-EV'd a Gorbis, and I have a Shell Smash one and a Rain Dance one, so pretty fun. As a Hydro Pump, I decided not to Rain Dance against the Torkoal because even though I probably could have just swept my opponent's team one by one with this Gorbis set, which is kind of pathetic, but it's actually true, I decided to refrain against it unless I absolutely have to, because I want to win this game in an alternative way if possible, because watching someone 6-0 with a Rain Dance Gorbis would be kind of exciting, but it would kind of be boring at the same time because it'd be very one-sided, and that's no fun. So I decided to bring in Guzzlord instead. I'm like, alright Guzzlord, you can tank the Sludge Bomb, and you can just Z-stockpile and wall this thing, right? Nope, I get poisoned first off, so I'm like, okay, well that's a little bit annoying, but it's just chip damage each turn, and since Guzzlord has a shit ton of HP, it won't make too big of a deal after this nice fatty defense boost. So I'm gonna get the Z stockpile going here. And I'm like, alright, I'm using this Guzzlord set finally after like 4 months of people begging me to use Guzzlord. Time for its first battle. It's gonna do so much work. It's an Ultra Beast. It's obviously good. Gonna go for the Sludge Bomb, get a critical hit, make me eat my words, and unfortunately, Guzzlord is going to do absolutely nothing. Because Fire Blast is going to be able to knock out the Victory Bell at the very least, and we're going to get a nice spicy Beast boost, Poke MMD, haha. But unfortunately with the poison I am going to die, and the crit was a little bit unlucky, but not much I can do about that, as a jump kick is going to knock me out. So down goes the Guzzlord, but not too big of a deal. I wanted to use it more, but I mean, what can I really do? But now, I'm gonna bring in my Gardevoir, and Gardevoir should be able to threaten this thing out with the Chlorophyll and Trace and all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna go for the Focus Blast.
Wow.
I would have been nice to keep my win con and be able to connect Focus Blast, but unfortunately, it just didn't deserve to. So whatever, I can't do much about that. But maybe a little bit upset, just a little bit. But then again, I was relying on Focus Blast there, so I was pretty much asking to miss. As now I'm going to bring in my Sock. Hope to God I can live the Swarm Leech, as thankfully we're able to. And Sock should be able to knock this thing out with the freaking Choice Banded Close Combat. This thing hits like a truck. Choice Banded Sock is not a Pokemon you should underestimate, because it just hits so damn hard, and it's really hard to switch into, so at least we're able to knock out the Sauce Box. So that's the other Chlorophyll Sweeper down, so now there's no more Chlorophyll, Fast Mons. Now there's just Spec Swallow, which is just fast enough on its own anyway, so it's still a threat. As now my Sock is going to go down, but at the very least I pretty much have a hard counter being my Credilli. And I'm pretty sure my opponent's going to bring in Torkoal, so I could double switch into Gorbis, get the Rain Dance off under the Torkoal, and just win the game from there. But that's actually no fun, and I decided to not do that. I mean, like I said, I want to avoid using this Gorbis, because I felt bad because it pretty much just counter-teamed him completely. And it was completely unintentional, because I had no idea my opponent was bringing Sun, but I mean, whatever. This isn't for like ladder points, so I don't really care if I win or lose this game. And I wanted it to be close, so if I just used my Gorbis and like played it the best way I could and just Rain Danced on the Torkoal the second time, this game would probably be over already, but I decided to not do that because I'm just a nice person, and I like to have fun. And I don't think other people should do that, I'm not trying to set an example, but it was just something I decided to do personally, because this game's not, I didn't really take this game seriously. Especially since all this hacks that's happening at the moment, it's just kind of ridiculous. Funnily enough though, he doesn't burn the Lava Plume, which is honestly impressive. I expected that to burn me because I missed Focus Blast, so I thought the other 30% was going to happen, but it didn't actually, so I got the nice roll there. I got that 30% and he didn't, so that's cool. His in comes the Charizard, and I'm like, wow, I have no idea what this thing's going to do to me, but I'm going to sack off my Gorbis here because I'm pretty much have no chance of getting a Rain Dance off. This is probably like a special Solar Beam set. But he's going to go for the Z move here, actually going to be the Fire Z move, and it's going to be the Infernal Overdrive. And with Z moves, it doesn't reveal if you're physical or special, because you can't tell unless you can tell from the damage it does. But that's going to knock out Gorbis, so maybe it's a special Charizard, maybe it's physical. I really can't tell, and I never asked my opponent. Though I'm sure a Dragon Dance Charizard with Solar Power on the Sun would be pretty damn powerful if used in the right hands. But now I'm going to bring in Salazzle here, get my Bataya Berry after Stealth Rocks destroy me, and now I'm going to go for the Belch, connect thankfully because Belch has a chance to miss, which kind of tilts me, and we're going to knock out the Charizard. And my opponent's last is the Swallow, and unfortunately Salazzle does not have the Salac Berry as Bataya, so it's going to be unable to outspeed the Swallow, but that's fine. Boomburst's going to knock out my Sork, my Salazzles. Now I'm going to bring in my Credilli here. This is my last mon as well. 1v1, and I'm pretty sure, unless he crits me with Boomburst here, that battle should be mine after a long toxic stalling, so I'm going to go for recovery here. All that fun and very entertaining YouTube Pokemon content here, as the Swallow just realized that, my opponent realizes that, wait a minute, this is just not going to work for me, so he runs away, which is one of the situations where I recommend running away and not wasting people's time when a battle is guaranteed loss unless you like crit flinch Boomburst, which is just not going to happen. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys did enjoy the battle, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, as it really helps support the channel and it means the world to me. And the question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite item to use in competitive Pokemon? Like, what item do you find yourself bringing on like every team? Now mine has got to be either Choice Scarf or Weakness Policy. Weakness Policy is probably like, oh, what the fuck, why, it's not that good, but I just have like a spot in my heart for it because it pretty much has cheese written all over it, and I love cheesing in Pokemon. It's like my favorite, so I just love Weakness Policy and Choice Scarf in a competitive way because having a fast mon on your team is always handy, and it makes slower mons actually viable, so it's cool. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll check you guys in my next video. Alright, peace.